Hey everybody, so today we're going to do something a little different. We usually only talk about the news of the week on the podcast, but there was so much going on that I wanted to give a little more attention to some of the topics that Francesca and I didn't get to cover in depth. The top 5 is a long-standing article style on Barca blog, so you can let me know if you like it down in the comments, and I'll think about doing it again. But now, let's get to business. Topic 1, Messi's red card. After Messi's retaliation, because that's what it was, Athletic Club fouled Messi in that match when any opponent had this season, and he was carrying a knock too. So after Messi finally lashed out, he got his first red card in a Barcelona shirt. From the fouls to the equalizers to the flopping to the trumpet and the celebration, you got the sense that if it was going to be any Athletic Club player on the receiving end of whatever that was that Messi did, it was going to be Villalibre. With the performance that Villalibre gave in extra time, and yeah, sure, the equalizer too, but as far as flopping on the floor and trying to win his Oscar, you think that Raul Garcia might be a bit jealous of his teammate for all the shenanigans that he got himself into. But as for Messi, as Francesca said on yesterday's pod, losing the Supercopa won't be deciding his future, even if it extends the streak of more than 630 days since Barca last won a title. The truth is that his mind is either already made up or will be decided with the next president. I know rumors were circulating this week that PSG is hoping to sign Messi in the summer, but how is that different than any day since 2014? Until the man that has spent his entire teenage and adult life at the club is wearing another jersey, a rumor is just a rumor. The actual fallout is that Messi has received a 2-match ban, and since he was in the Spanish Super Cup, it carries over to anything related to Spanish football, meaning he'll miss Cornea's Copa del Rey fixture and the La Liga match against Elche. Conspiracy crazies will try to tell you that he did this on purpose, as we know Sergio Ramos, Casemiro, and even Barca's own Jordi Alba, and maybe even Sergio Busquets, have done it before to miss less enthralling matches. But this red card was not on purpose for Messi. It could be a blessing in disguise too. If Barca is knocked out of the Copa without Messi, then they deserve to be knocked out of the Copa. And the same goes for failing to get a result against Elche. Cornea took down Atletico last week, I know. But Barca B also took down Cornea last month in Segunda Division B. But more on that in a minute. Topic 2. Let's talk about Griezmann's recent form. I'm not sure if Antoine Griezmann will start against Cornea. With Messi and Fati out, it's actually kind of likely. So hopefully if he does play, he can keep up his recent scoring. Griezmann now has 4 goals and 3 assists in his last 4 games for Barca and is now in good form after a run of 8 games without a goal. Some of the news after the game was about Griezmann being frustrated by his teammates that there isn't enough communication on set pieces, and he's right. If Puyol said that, it's leadership. And if Griezmann says that, it's out of place. Yet he played on the best defensive side that La Liga has seen in the 21st century. I think the guy knows a thing or two about defending set pieces. And any frustration or added drama from other players, I guarantee had to do with the personal frustrations of failing to capture a trophy and playing 2 extra time matches without any reward. Well, except that extra $600,000 for making the final. Yahoo! Topic 3. Cornea debuts. First off, plenty of Barca birthdays this week. Pep Guardiola turned 50, Juan Miranda on loan at Real Betis turned 21. Yes, Juan Miranda, after all these years, is still just 21 today. And Ilaix Moriba turns 18. Whether it was contract-related or merit-based or a little bit of both, Ilaix has been training with the first team for the past few weeks since Alenya was loaned to Getafe, and it seems like his first team debut is right around the corner. Conrad de la Fuente had appeared in the Champions League, but is still waiting for his La Liga debut. The Copa del Rey isn't La Liga, but I expect to see both Ilaix and Conrad to start against a team that Pimienta figured out right before Christmas. And if I'm Ronald Koeman, I'm going to ask Pimienta about how to figure out Cornea. You can mix in Junior Firpo, Martin Braithwaite, Miralem Pjanic, and Ricky Puig should start too. But I would be surprised if Ilaix and Conrad weren't in the starting 11 to join them. I would love to see Jandro Orellana as well, but that's where I think it's a bit of a pipe dream. I've said that he needed, that being Jandro, to be better this year than last when he was in his first campaign with Barca B, and the 20-year-old has arguably been the B team's most important player and does deserve some minutes for the first team, albeit in the Copa del Rey. With his rise, though, it must be mentioned the difficulties that Oriol Busquets is having, because I think Culés might be wondering what's happening with him. He was injured again recently, and winning back a midfield spot will even be hard for him in Pimienta's B side. It feels like another case of Sergi Samper, and that's a real shame because while Oriol Busquets never showed top level talent, you thought he could have potentially been a squad player, and I am hoping that he can still salvage a nice professional career, but most likely away from the Camp Nou at this point. Topic 4, the presidential election. While I would love to have been discussing what was going to be the week where Barca elected a new president, instead we're talking about the election being postponed until a future date, reportedly of March 7th. Francesca and I went in depth on this topic on the podcast, so you can hit that link up top and check that out. We hit Carlos Busquets' role, the role of the socios in it all, and the role of the Catalan government in the election. The only tiny thing that we did miss was a continued expectance of something relating to a plan from the frontrunner Juan Laporta. Victor Font and Tony Freccia have largely laid their hands out on the table, and as the favorite, Laporta doesn't have to do that. But the extra time until the election could have people asking a few more questions of the president than he got in his first go-around when he had the likes of Johan Cruyff, Ferran Soriano, Chiqui Begiristain, and Mark Ingler to rely on. Victor Font, meanwhile, has a lot to do to make sure he speaks to and gets in a little bit better with the socios in the area of Catalonia. And once again, Francesca and I dove deep on this topic on the podcast, so make sure you check it out. Topic 5, last but not least, let's throw in a quick transfer rumor about Junior Firpo. I don't think it's going to happen because the two Barca B understudies, Alejandro Balde and the current Barca B left back Jose Marsa, who is actually a converted center back from Juvenil A and the captain at that level, they're both just not ready yet. But Junior Firpo's name is one of the only ones that keep popping up this window. There is a good player in there, and both other teams and his agent know that. But he is stuck behind Alba and doesn't look like he's ever going to get enough game time in a row or consistent game time to prove himself. He is beginning to near that age where he should be looking to enter his prime, and you can't do that on the bench. Plus, in the financial straits that Barca are currently in, they may need to look long and hard at a potential loan plus purchase option or something like that from AC Milan or West Ham. Usually agents will float these kinds of rumors to help a client renegotiate a contract, like Ansu Fati, but I think these rumors are out there because Junior wants some playing time, and I don't blame him for that. I still don't see how he gets sold without the okay from a new president, but crazier things have happened. If Junior is loaned out or sold, however, the option at left back behind Jordi Alba, who's going to be expected to play 90 minutes game in and game out, could be Sergio Roberto, who's flipped to the left side once or twice when he gets back healthy in a few weeks, or maybe even this week, or Oscar Mingueza, who not only can play right back, as we've seen for Sergiño Dest, but he can also play on the left side as well, kind of a do-everything kind of guy. And we keep mentioning Samuel Umtiti is on the bench, also waiting for some minutes, finally fit after all these years. So maybe Samuel Umtiti, where he got his start for Lyon at left back, can find some form, get his price tag up a bit by playing back at the left back spot. So I think that's the other options if Junior Firpo is sold on. So there you have it, 5 stories that I thought needed more attention after our podcast yesterday. I hope you like this and keep coming back for more content like it and our usual match reviews and the like. And please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications. And as always, until next time, Forza Barca.